Really? I've been hoodwinked.
I told you it was the beauty in the game. You didn't ask about my Lego experience. Hi everyone, Andrew from Brick Banter here. Today I'm lucky enough to be speaking to Crystal and Andrew from LEGO Masters Season 4. They've just finished their first build. Welcome, Crystal and Andrew.
Thank you, thanks for having us.
So how do you guys know each other? Was it brother and sister?
Yeah, so Andrew is an albino of the family. He wasn't very well liked growing up, but you know what? We made it work.
Yeah.
No, we're just mates.
We met through, you did cosplay and it was through pop culture conventions, I don't know, like 10 years ago.
Something like that. It was a very long time ago.
What made you apply to be LEGO Masters together?
Andrew forced me to apply. He's like, hey, I need a gal.
Yeah, it's not far from the truth.
I mean, the show just looks like fun. Why
fun.
wouldn't you want to be a part of the show?
Yeah, and you know, overall you get to hang out with your friends and build Lego for, you know, ridiculous amounts of time and you don't have to put your toys away, so.
Yeah, it's great.
Now Crystal, is it true Andrew told you the application is for Beauty and the Geek and not LEGO Masters?
100%. 100%. I was like, oh yeah, we can knock this out of the park.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm pretty enough to do that, you're a geek.
Have you both built freestyle before?
I haven't. I've only ever built from sets before. So this is very scary.
And yeah, not a lot myself, generally sets. I'll custom build some stuff for animations. Mostly it's just building sets for the blog to review and whatnot, so not a lot.
Really? I've been hoodwinked.
I told you it was the beauty in the game. You didn't ask about my Lego experience.
Now, you were both pretty big on Instagram, Crystal for fashion, Andrew for Lego. Do you think your different skills are going to help you within the competition?
I don't know, I think there's a good balance. Like, as I said, like, Crystal's very creative, full of pop culture knowledge. There's fashion, which, you know, you bring a level of aesthetic and knowing what looks good, what doesn't look good, plus you've got like a million amazing ideas.
I just hope there's a fashion challenge, because that would be really fun.
Yeah, some kind of headwear. I don't know. Dress wear, earrings? I don't know. What fashion would you want to build?
I don't know. Would it be weird to build a t-shirt?
I mean, yes and no.
Like a
You could just get
a
like
boxy t-shirt.
Yeah, I feel like it could be like one of those festival t-shirts, like with more of a singlet, just get a bunch of flex tube and connect it up and it's a bit more of a mesh situation.
Andrew, you're actually a pretty big deal in the LEGO world. You have more followers than Brickman, more followers than Channel 9's Liz Hayes, and up until recently you had more followers than the LEGO Masters Australia account. That's got to be a huge advantage in the competition.
You'd hope so, but I guess gathering a Lego following is a lot different to actually building Lego freestyle, so it could go either way, to be honest.
So guys, episode 1, you barely know any of the other teams. It's your first chance to see what everyone's capable of. Who's standing out in the competition?
So I wear glasses and I can't see beyond this point. So I don't know what everyone else is building. I can't see the competition.
Your building for everything that was nice and close to you was amazing, so well done. I'm glad we didn't have to do any distant building in this challenge.
And who's looking like the weakest link at this point?
I did not remember the builds.
I don't know, it's hard to say because you've got a mix of teams. There's people who know each other already, so you've got Branko and Max, family team, so you think they'd have a pretty good connection. Same with Joss and Henry, so you think they'd vibe pretty well together. Alex and Caleb don't know each other, so there's a lot of learning each other's skills first, which could be a disadvantage, but it also could be a benefit. They might be, you know, playing a little bit polite with each other and can't, you know, express themselves. So I don't know, I think there's like such a mix. You don't know what will work and what won't.
Let's talk about your build. I have to say, this is probably my favorite one in the room. From a practical point of view, if you actually drain the ocean, this is probably what you'd see. How did you come about this idea?
We'd actually, before the episode started, before filming had started, we'd gone through and watched a bunch of previous episodes of LEGO Masters and kind of wrote down a bunch of ideas that we'd do for each challenge if we were to get that challenge, and basically create an ideas bank, I guess. And one of them that we watched was season 2, where they put the stuff in the water. we're throwing around ideas for that. And we're like, oh, just like trash. We just do trash in the water, right? Because, I mean, what's at the bottom of the ocean? First episode, we get this challenge, and like I think both of us wrote down on our idea sheet,
Just trash.
just
yeah.
trash. And then the idea evolved a little bit more from there, but it was kind of true to its form as well.
Now, who's the Amelia Earhart fan?
Would you say fan?
Are we fans?
I think we are now. We've got to be. We're like, we're going to have to join a fan club for Amelia Earhart.
Yeah, she's our home girl now.
But I think that Amelia Earhart was definitely your spin and your knowledge. I know of her, but you knew a lot more about her than I did.
I like reading up on history.
Yeah.
She's part of history.
Yeah.
Did you actually know the aircraft number NR7, or was it just a completely lucky guess?
I remember seeing it on something. It was like a book or whatever, and I only remember NR because that's my husband's initials.
I was wondering how you would have remembered that.
Yeah.
Makes sense now.
Yeah.
You both mentioned you haven't freestyle built before, so how did you just decide who was doing what?
I think we kind of split up our tasks and delegated a little bit. So I, had a lot to learn as well, but I guess I
we
built.
both learnt on the job.
Both learned a lot more.
Oh my God, the amount of, it's so hard to build freestyle, and it's, a lot of learning.
Yeah.
But we delegated a good amount to each one of us, and I think it worked.
Yeah, and it was kind of, you unfortunately got delegated the basically building
That's okay.
a giant wall, but
Switched up hands.
like that's not easy in itself, especially with the textures that you put into it. So like that's a skill in itself that I don't think anyone else in the room would have been able to match with. So did really well.
Was there much thought about how the water might impact your build?
None at all.
For you,
I would have to say, no.
that was
There definitely was. Afterwards.
afterwards, like when the water was happening. I think for me it was like, because we've got this giant wall of Lego, there's so many airlocks in there that could have basically just lifted the whole thing off the ground, and we could have gone floating into other people's stuff.
We did create like holes and stuff in there so air could come in and out.
Yeah.
It seemed to be a pretty comfortable build for you both. Was there any stress at all?
There was a bit of stress in terms of time pressure because there was so much for us to build, and we had given ourselves such a big task that, we definitely felt the stress closer to the end when we thought we weren't going to finish the build.
Yeah.
But you know what? The wing is meant to look unfinished anyway. So did we finish the build really? I don't know.
Yeah, we could have stopped at any point and
Yeah.
it still would have been considered finished in our point of view. There was a bit, about 5 minutes towards the end, I think I even hid it from you, our little shoe in front of the wing. I was bolting it down or like securing it so if it got airlock in there it wouldn't like lift up and float. And I broke the shoe while I was doing this, but I like kept it quiet because I didn't want the cameras to come like surround us and put more stress on me to try and fix it in the last 5 minutes. So I just like did it quietly.
Classic.
Brickman said your build was the best concept in the room. How did that feel?
That's good. I think it well for me it really built up my hopes that we were a chance of being in the top 3.
Oh,
But it was all a bit of pressure as well.
I felt a lot of pressure.
And there were like quite a few compliments from the other teams as well, which kind of added to the pressure. Like Joss, who you saw Joss and Henry what they built. Joss said like he was intimidated by what we did, so that coming from him was intimidating to me.
He said that? They
said
had this
that.
like huge dragon thing.
I know.
Serpent monster, I don't know what it was, but it was huge.
It was
and
huge.
It was amazing.
But to impress someone like that, like that's
Yeah.
pressure in its own. Like his feedback's more important to me than Brickman's was.
Crystal and Andrew, thank you so much for sharing your episode 1 experiences with us. Can't wait to see what you do next.
Thank you.